is the one that I'm really excited to go after here, because I know the reputation of this 2001, and this is you're all smiles, and you should be, because you both did such an amazing job.
Definitely the description, this wine,
Yeah.
you test, and the result is amazing, amazing vintage.
It's just a phenomenal vintage. Tell me about the growing year in 2001.
I think it was a really regular vintage. With no stress, no hydro stress, but warm and good conditions for this vintage. I think classical conditions, but at the end of August, the grapes were ripe and ready to receive the infection by botrytis. And at that time, we had good humidity. The botrytis came, I think, in the middle of September. And we could start the harvest at the end of September, around the 20th September. So a very typical vintage of botrytis, regular harvest from middle September until end of October, but with a very high level of concentration in sugar. It was a really well-dried vintage, and probably until now it was the highest level of concentration of sugar we ever had in a wine of Yquem.
Let's go ahead and have a sip of this wonderful wine.
And the acidity in the 2001 is relatively high, and that's why the wine is so well balanced. And yes, we have 4.5 gram per liter of acidity in sulfuric acid, which is more than 2005 and 2003. That's why the balance is so good.
What a gorgeous, gorgeous wine.
Yes,
just beautiful, like a sweet tropical fruit, beautiful acidity, almost like some tones of kind of butter and honey in there, kind of creamy. It's just on the palate. It's just an extraordinary wine. And I mean, the life of this wine could be a century. I mean, this is so well balanced. Yeah. It's such a beautiful, beautiful, and you can start to see just a little bit of the aging. Just we were talking about that when you poured it. Not. It's not a 50 or 100-year-old wine, but even being 10, 11 years old at this point, you can see versus the 09 that we'll taste. There's some very definite darkening that's occurred, and that's what happens. When these wines get to the point when they're 30, 50, 100 years, they darken significantly. They can take on different tones of sort of nutty, caramel, just different tones as they age, which adds some beautiful complexity to them as well.
Right. So interesting.
Yes, it's fascinating how these wines, how they evolve.